morning, planet Earth. This is a little unusual because it's a Monday, and I'm not usually off this early on a Monday, but I've got the day off today because it's New Year's Day observed. It's nice to have an extra day off. Today I want to talk to you about composting. I don't have a particularly advanced composting setup. When we moved into this house, we did a very basic setup just so we could get some composting going. And I simply haven't upgraded it since then. But it's been relatively effective. It could be far more efficient. I'll show it to you here in a minute. First, this is my compost bucket. Lives in my kitchen. I don't generate a lot of organic waste, so I only need to take it out once every couple days. I find that as long as the temperature stays relatively even in the house, I don't have much of a problem with bugs or smells or anything like that. So it can go a couple days. I could always put a lid on it if I felt like that was becoming a problem. That's my avocado. I need to transplant that pretty soon. It's starting to get a shoot going on there. Looking good, avocado. So let's take this outside and we'll dump this out and then we'll see if we can get this turned over. Now, I'm no expert on composting. I know a little bit about it. I've been doing it for years, but never got real in-depth with it. But I do know that one of the important things is turning it over constantly, keeping it fresh, keeping it recycled, and keeping it watered so that you accumulate enough density that the bacteria and the bugs can do their work inside and break down the compost down into humus and all the other sort of organic material that you want to use for your soil amendments and that sort of thing. As you can probably see, I've gotten a little lazy lately and I have not turned this over in a little bit. It's been a little chilly out here and I've been on vacation over the holidays. So let's get a shovel and turn that over. We'll get some water going too to wet this down. This used to be a much higher pile of leaves, pretty much all the way to the top, but it's already kind of gone down, I think, just from the snow melt, a little bit of sunlight, and just from the general density of it. It's pretty bright out here. I forgot to bring my sunglasses. It's a beautiful winter day out here, though. It's probably like 45, 50 degrees. Typically, you're probably going to want a pitchfork to turn over your compost. You get more aeration under it that way. I don't have a pitchfork, but the tool you have is better than the tool you don't. I've got a trusty shovel here. We're going to go ahead and use that, turn it over. And then we'll water it down and tamp it down a bit and take advantage of nature's recycling program. Density really is a big key with this, in addition, of course, to aeration and making sure that you can produce enough heat for the right biological entities to break that down. You can't see it much, but you can see a little bit of the kind of the darker, loamier kind of stuff starting to form. Again, it's tough because it's winter, so it's colder out here. It takes more. I don't have a lot of density here. It's a little scattered out here a bit. So I need to do a little bit of maintenance on this. In an ideal world, I'd have proper composting bin. I'd be able to transfer one to another. And then, you know, I'd have a lot more control. It would compost a lot faster. I'd have a lot more control over my compost and my composting process and being able to turn that into usable material for my garden come spring. That said, the compost pile you have is better than the one you don't. You're recycling a lot of organic material. You're saving that from just going into landfills where it'll take a whole lot longer to degrade and decompose. And then you have something usable for your garden planters or your pots, or something that's going to save you a little bit of money too on going out there and buying up all that fancy fertilizer. The effectiveness will vary depending on your methods, but you're still doing a better thing overall for the earth and for yourself. You can see there's still a lot of leaves in there from the autumn. Raking those up, pulling those out of my gutter and loading them up in there. And that'll take a little while to decompose, but with some persistence, that'll speed up that whole process and make that decompose a lot faster. Now, one of the keys to successful composting is tending to your compost regularly. It's a lot like tending to a garden. Just think of it more like you're tending to the microorganisms that are breaking down that compost by providing them the ingredients and the fuel they need to do their job. It's a lot like growing your plants. Now, I'm sure those of you who are more experienced with composting notice that mine's not in very good shape. I haven't been maintaining it. That's part of my New Year's mission, is to do a better job maintaining that compost, keeping that whole process going properly. And I'll try to show you every couple days, turning it over, watering it, keeping that decomposition process going. I call it a NanoVlog for a reason. I want to keep them short. That's all I've got for you today. If you have any questions or thoughts or ideas, please feel free to put them in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you again next time.